Okay, so my name's Sarah. I'm from the Accessible Melbourne team. We're looking at making Melbourne more accessible and giving visitors to Melbourne better situational awareness of the city in regards to the accessibility of the venues, the accessibility of the streets and other public facilities. What we're hoping to do is work with the OpenStreetMap as a foundation and put more information on that. For example, venue accessibility for people with mobility impairments, people with visual and hearing impairments. Are there hearing loops in theatres? Are there subtitles and so on? We're using datasets from the City of Melbourne, Victorian datasets and national datasets. For example, we're working with the public toilet information, whether or not that has disability access and where those are located. We hope to work further with, for example, disabled parking spots and other information from the City of Melbourne. This is hoping to be advantageous for members of the community who have mobility impairment, visual and hearing impairment, and hopefully in the future working to help find better spaces for people who are neuroatypical, if they need safe spaces, quiet spaces and so on. Much of this data is already available. For example, we have information on benches from the Geelong dataset, and we also have information on cover from trees in the City of Melbourne.
Great question. So one of my roles within the project was to make sure that our code, our front-end design was WCAG accessible. So WCAG, the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, are a set of guidelines to make web content accessible for people who have hearing, visual and other impairments. So it's really, really important when you're designing HTML5 and HTML in general that you adhere to accessibility standards. And there's a couple of things that this means when you're designing your page. It means that it has to have good structure, good semantic layout, and it also means that you have to pay attention to some finer details, like making sure that you have labels on form elements. So that's been my job, to make sure that our front end is WCAG AA accessible. And when I fix this little input, I'm sure it will be.
Lachlan and Matt, welcome to GovHack. Tell us a little bit more about the tech that you've been using for GovHack.
We're pulling JSON data from the City of Melbourne data accessibility site using their API. We're pulling it down via jQuery.
Awesome.
We're importing it into leaflet mapping layers to display each of them as points of interest on the map. We've also got a search box that allows you to search for street addresses. The default location is your geolocation based on your mobile's GPS.
Oh, cool.
Or a laptop or computer's browser website.
Yep. We've developed most of our, we're using OpenStreetMap for our backend. We're storing our code up on GitHub, and we've developed it with mostly Linux.
Oh, awesome. Open data for the win. Thanks, guys. Rock on.